This is Coogan Cassius live from London. We're at the MGM Grand here for Fight Week. Mayweather Guerrero. With me, I have got the editor of Boxing News, TRIS DIXON. How are you, Tris?
Good, thanks, Coogan. Busy. It's gone to another level, this promotion, after Ruben Guerrero kicked off at the press conference yesterday.
Yeah, it was nearly a 40-minute press conference, including Richard Schaefer's thank yous, and that was probably the highlight. Not much response from Floyd, though, Tris.
No, well, I mean, what's he got to gain by biting, really? I mean, he's only going to satisfy Ruben Guerrero if he makes a fool out of himself or retaliates. So it was one of those where there was not much to gain by biting back or getting physical or doing whatever he might have done 10 years ago. So I think it was a good mature response just to get on with things.
Obviously, you're here working for yourself and Boxing News. What other fights on the undercard interest you?
I'm interested by Abner Mares against Ponce de Leon, which is like the co-feature. When it was first announced, I was kind of lukewarm to it, to be honest, because I thought Ponce de Leon had run out of chances at the highest level. But then I think with Mares moving up in weight, I think it kind of adds another dimension to the fight, and I think it's a good test for Mares, who's often in a lot of fun fights anyway. And against a puncher like Ponce de Leon, I think there could be fireworks if that one really if they start to tear into each other.
A lot of people suggesting Mayweather Guerrero being quite a one-sided fight. How are you booking this fight, and what does Guerrero need to do, being the underdog, if he's going to do it?
Yeah, I'd like to see Guerrero invite Mayweather to come to him a little bit. We've seen people try to pressure Floyd over the years. We've seen Hatton try to do it, Cotto try to do it to a lesser extent, Gatti tried to do it. And I think it would be good for Guerrero to stand off him and see if Floyd is prepared to make some moves, because these people are all coming to see Floyd this weekend. Let's not make any mistake about that. So let Floyd entertain his fans by trying to make a fight of it. I'm not sure if that will be the case, but it's something you say is interesting. In the build-up to this, I think that these Mayweather events are becoming more and more like American versions of the Klitschko fights. You know, it's all about the A-side attraction and not really about the B-side. I mean, I think he's picked a couple of guys, including Guerrero and Victor Ortiz, based on their backstories as well as what they can do in the ring, because he can sell a fight using their stories. I think Klitschko's, you know, they play to a captive audience in Germany and the Ukraine, no matter who they fight, because it's all about the event, the occasion. I think Mayweather nights are becoming like that over here.
This week is obviously, it's a manic week here in any Mayweather event rather. What is there going to be a thing where, like, we see events like this back home where it's this much attention and this much of a circus around it? Is it a case of we don't have the fighters that sort of appeal to that?
Well, yeah, I mean, look at this. You're looking at two superstars really who've been putting on these shows in Vegas for the last 5 or 6 years, and there's Mayweather and there's Pacquiao, and we haven't had anyone really to equate to that. And when they have got to that level, you know, your Hattons and Calzaghes, they tend to have come over here and fought over here, because this is where the big money is in the casinos and the pay-per-view markets over here. So it's difficult to imagine this happening in the UK. We do get big fights. You know, we had Haye and Chisora last year. We've had Kostya, Ricky Hatton, and obviously there's been a lot over the years. But to see this kind of event in the UK, I'm not sure it'll work, because the big money's here in America. And as soon as you talk about taking a big fight to the UK, you're looking at messing around with time differences and TV audiences and different things like that. So it's hard to imagine something of this magnitude coming to the UK.
Moving away from America, Amir Khan produced a victory the other day after his knockdown in the 4th round, which everyone keeps going on about. How did you assess his performance, and you know, what's next for Amir Khan?
I thought it was business as usual for Amir, really, and not in a derogatory way. I just think he was in another fun fight. I don't know how long he can keep producing fights of that nature. You know, where he's having to dig deep and take shots and stand toe-to-toe with people. I think if he stands toe-to-toe with some of the guys in this division, like Danny Garcia and like Lucas Matisse, he's going to be banging trouble. But you can't take your eyes off an Amir Khan fight, and I think even though he might not have followed on into the likes of Ricky Hatton with his popularity, I think people are wanting to watch him fight because he's in fun fights, and you know, as a boxer, that's what you want first and foremost.
He said that more than likely now fight towards the end of the year.
I think December 7th is the date they're looking at.
Which probably obviously won't be in England, it'll be back in America for Amir. But what fighters do you think he should stay away from?
I think Matisse and Garcia I'd stay away from, but I think Matisse's fighting Lamont Peterson on the 18th of May. Danny Garcia could fight the winner of that in September, and then Khan could fight the winner of that sort of mini tournament in December. But I think it wouldn't surprise, there's been some talk over here this week about Amir possibly fighting Floyd Mayweather next year at the O2 in London. Whether or not that could happen, I don't know, but there's some serious people in America are talking about that fight happening. And so to make that happen, Amir would have to move up in weight and ideally get a title. So, I could see him fighting someone like Devin Alexander at the end of the year in December at welterweight, and then trying to gamble that Amir wins that and then move up, and then he'll be a champion and would bring something to the table to make a Mayweather fight appealing.
Well, we've been here. Obviously, there was a press conference in London yesterday. Not in London, sorry, Manchester yesterday, for David Haye against Manuel Charr. David Haye's signed a promotional agreement with Matchroom Sport as well, so he'll be fighting back on Sky Sports. What are your thoughts on the fight with Charr?
Decent enough fight. I mean, I think it's only going to be on Sky Sports, not Sky Box Office. So I think it's a perfectly good Sky Sports fight. It's great that David's going to bring that massive audience that he's got from I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and his workout DVD and all that sort of stuff. It's great that he's now gone out and got a different audience to bring to boxing. I think we'll reap the rewards of that. I'm a bit infuriated with David, to be honest, because he's young, he's talented. I know he's got his aches and pains with a bad back and different things, different injuries that he's carried over the years. But David Haye's fighting 3 or 4 times a year in the UK is a massive game changer for British boxing. And I think over the last couple of years we've really missed out on some fun fights and some big nights because David hasn't had the motivation to do or had the right deals come his way to do what he wants to do. And it's frustrating because, like I said, I think David firing all cylinders regularly in British boxing, I think is really good for us.
There's been some talk, obviously, from Eddie Hearn, Adam Booth, about a potential fight with Tyson Fury in September. There must be some truth to this for Eddie Hearn to be quite openly talking about a possible fight with Tyson Fury.
Well, I remember I first floated that idea in about January or February on Twitter, and I sort of got a mixed reaction. Some people saying, yeah, sign me up, put it in Old Trafford, and other people saying, are you out of your mind? And it probably is one of those fights that will divide opinion. Although I think most people would fancy David Haye to win it, particularly after Tyson's performance in New York a couple of weeks ago. But I think it's a massive fight for British boxing. I think it would be an explosive fight, and I think they both I don't think they'd be standing off each other. I think they'd probably tear into each other from the start. And yeah, I could see it being a massive occasion. I just can't see it happening though. I can't, with the politics of different TV networks and everything. Not unless there's something where Tyson can get onto Sky Box Office for that fight. And I don't think it would be a question of David being able to box on Channel 5 or prime time as it would be.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how famous are you here in Las Vegas?
Well, I've been coming here many years. I'd probably say about -3.
Have they not seen your arms? My God.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. It's not. It's everyone comes here for the fighters, don't they? So no one gives a monkeys about people like me.
I've had a few pictures done, though, Tris.
They think you're a fighter. They thought you were that Sri Lankan heavyweight, didn't they, from the 70s?
Well, they might have done. But no, listen. To be honest, I mean, I went out to Broner and Rees and just managed to get a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of people, we spoke about it earlier, doing the sort of stuff, the online video stuff that we do. So it's like the market is very competitive here. We've not saying we've got it sewn up. There's still people doing what we do in England, but we seem to be more consistent than other people. But here is a different ballgame because there's a lot of big online people that do what we do here. So, and
especially here on the West Coast, there's a lot of people in the California area and Vegas, where people already have the connections in place. Like if they were to come to England, you've got things obviously sewn up with a lot of the promoters over there, and so it'd be difficult for you. It's difficult for you to come over here, especially in America, the same way it would be hard for them to come onto your doorstep and do it. So yeah, it's difficult and competitive. So good luck.
All right, Tris, just a quick word. Broner and Malignaggi press conference this Saturday, which is here in Vegas, so we've got that to look forward to. There's been some videos floating about on YouTube of those two trash talking, so that press conference alone should be quite lively ahead of their fight in June.
Yeah, I think there'll be fireworks in the press conference because they're both big talkers. What's interesting about that fight is we keep saying that titles aren't really important and all the rest of it, but let's face it, if Malignaggi wasn't a welterweight champion, there's no way Broner would be skipping 2 weight divisions, skipping a whole weight division and moving up 2 to fight him. It shows that titles are still important, as much as it pains me to say it. Because without that, the fight's not on, because Malignaggi wouldn't be bringing enough to the table. Broner clearly wants the titles at different weights. I spoke to him back in December, I think, it was around the time of the Amir Khan Carlos Molina fight. He was talking that he could go up all the way up to light middleweight, and he probably can, and might even go up to middleweight because he's got the frame to carry it, I think. So Malignaggi, it's an entertaining fight because the build-up, it would sell well because the build-up would be brilliant. I think the press conference here is going to be unmissable. I just think it's going to be X-rated, so I'm not sure that you guys will be allowed it on your website.
We can put whatever we want on.
Okay.
All right, Tris DIXON, thank you very much for talking to us from London, and yeah, we'll look forward to May Day, May the 4th this week.
Thanks, Coogan.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
All right, Tris, what have you got here?
What have I got? Okay, we've got this special issue now, an app that we've launched just for this fight, for May Day. It's a free sample. You can get it from iTunes. You can also get it from www.boxingnewsonline.net/apps, and basically it's everything that you need to know about May Day. We've got interviews with both fighters. We've got obviously some comment columns, some videos, some picture galleries in there. We've got the career stories about what they've done. We've got a piece here, Floyd Mayweather on the legends. We've got how they prepared for the fights, what they do in the gym, that kind of stuff. So, and this is all exclusive content to us. So we've spoken to Floyd, we've spoken to Leonard Ellaby, his strength and conditioning, we spoke to Roger Mayweather as well. We've got expert opinion from some of the leading guys in the business, Devin Alexander, Gennady Golovkin, Kell Brook and so forth. We've got some Twitter views from some of our followers and some guys on Facebook, and then we've got the big preview to the fight. So we've never done anything like this before, where we've just focused an app on one particular fight, but we've got it for this fight, which sort of shows you how big May Day is and how seriously we're taking it.
So this is available obviously for people that have got your app.
Yeah, you just download the app for free, and then you can download the free sampler inside it. So yeah, I've had some good feedback already, which is nice because myself and the guys put a lot of work into it.
All right, it looks good. I'm going to check that out.
Thanks, Coogan.
Thank you very much, Tris.